Hi folks, we're going to get back on the big pike flies now, after all the little fly nonsense. Okay, so what I'm going to do today, we're going to use some Gliss and Glint Plus, lovely orange with a nice bit of flash for it. But what I've done is I've custom blended the orange to make that colour, which is pretty much Gliss and Glint, the orange, and mixed with Angelina fibre. If you want to see how to blend these fibres, there's one of my videos on YouTube to do that. Okay, so we're going bigger today. I'm going to start off as usual, just with a wrap of thread or down a hook and a little bit of glue, just to bond it all together. Okay, and then we're going to bring our thread all the way down to just where the hook starts to bend. And when you're doing this and you're blending it, you'll find that it tapers, so it's really quite cool. Because all we need to do then is, why does my phone always keep going off? Okay, so we'll take some, and that should be pretty cool. I like to just, when I pull a piece off, and I'll just strip it and re-blend each individual piece. I think that gives it a nicer mix. Okay, so that's going to go on. This is going to be a bit of a bigger fly, so okay. Tie that down and split that bit. Done. Okay, so as you know, that gives you your overall length of the fly. If you pull any pieces out of the flash, just put them back in, and then just blend them in. And that's going to go right there. A couple of wraps around to secure, and split it over the hook eye, down, and split it over the hook. Tie that down. Again, quick and easy fly to do. Okay, so I'm just going to thin the materials out a bit more on this now as we get towards the front. Again, it looks like there's a lot of materials there, but really there's not. It's very deceptive. Okay. And wrap. Okay, and each side of the hook. And just checking out, it's looking good. Okay. You see, I'm just pulling that through, just to blend it in a bit more. Okay. Looking good. That piece is good to go on there. Cool flies these in the water, you know, you should see how they glint. They're quite amazing. I think it's due to the ununiform flash for it, because the flash is kind of peppered all the way through the body, so there's not one whole real big heap of flash anywhere. It's kind of all the way through it, so you get lots of cool little flashy sparks. Okay, that's looking good. Okay. And again, I know it looks like there's a lot of material there, but really there isn't. And it's so light as well. Okay, and the last piece. And split on the hook. Okay. Okay. And that's pretty much that. Ready for the eye. Okay. Now, do you know what I think I'm going to do with that? I think I'm actually going to put some of Chris Rawls' junglecock on the side. So what I'm going to do, I've just tied that off, but I'll just reattach that. And a couple of, I've just seen that line there, that's one of Chris Rawls' ones, junglecock, and I reckon that's going to be pretty cool on the side. So let's choose a couple. Usually the preserve of salmon fishers, I think these are. There we go, 2 bits. And again, I'm just going to trim the fluffy bit off at the end. Okay, I'm going to lie that on. Sometimes you do that, you get to the end of a fly and as an afterthought you think, you know what would look good? As you spot something in your box or whatever. But nothing stopping you put it back on. Okay. Okay. See what I mean? Phone again. So we're just going to touch that. That's looking pretty good, I'm quite happy with that. So what I'm going to do now is put the eyes on. Okie dokes. I'm using these big 9mm eyes. The silvery ones I think go quite well on these orangey and green patterns. Red works quite well on the orange ones. If you have a look at, you know, just like the things that lure anglers use, those big plasticky bait things with treble hooks and stuff, and if you have a look at the colours that they have their lures, you can actually mix and match, and you can actually make flies to represent them, which I do a lot. And it's good for the colours as well, because you may get stuck in what colours can I do. Just take a look at one of the American jerkbait fishing sites and see what those guys are using. Okay, so what I've done there is pretty much just put the UV on the back of the eye, and because this is quite a big eye, I can actually put my finger on this one. Okay, so like I say, if you prefer, you can use a scissor or a bobbin needle. I'll show you that, just to hold that down. This is also a good method if you're going to be epoxying your head, as some people do, for just a little bit of weight. This will hold the eye in position. One thing I don't recommend is don't use super glue. If you use super glue and then put like a resin over the top of it, or even an epoxy, you'll find that it'll go white, and then obviously people think it's the fault of the epoxy or the resin. It's actually not, it's just a reaction. So there we go, and I'm just going to finish the nose off. So some fine there. Okay, I'm just going to trim that ever so slightly, and again I always work from the back at an outward angle. I hope you can see that. So you're forming that nice taper shape. And there you have it. And again, it looks quite bulky, but it's not. It's very deceptive. You've got a lovely flash through that. Just tell me that's not going to catch fish. You know, there you go. Right, I better go and see what my bitches want.